Hello, and welcome to my presentation on how to unpack a standard. Now, where does one get a standard? I got mine from the Washington State K through 12 ELA Learning Standards, which are derived from the Common Core State Standards. Fun little fact is that 44 states have decided to have Common Core standards, but two of the states that decided they didn't want to do this, or at least not yet, are Texas and Alaska, which are known as being kind of independent states. So I thought that was kind of funny. All right, moving on. I chose this standard to unpack for you. Introduce claims about a topic or issue. Acknowledge and distinguish the claims from alternate or opposing claims, and organize the reasons and evidence logically. The standard that follows that one is support claims with logical reasoning and relevant, accurate data and evidence that demonstrates an understanding of the topic or text using credible sources. I chose these standards because I want to work as a sixth grade middle school English teacher, either with special ed or with general ed. Either would be fine. And so I decided to actually unpack the first one, which was about the topics and the claims and the opposing claims, as it just seemed to have a little bit more meat to it. And the second standard is more of an extension of the first standard. So it's a little bit of working on the finer details of the first standard. So the big ideas are that you want the students to be able to read a piece of text, and I would say as well, you'd want them to be able to listen to something or see something on TV and be able to find out what the main topic was and what a particular viewpoint was and what an opposing viewpoint is. And then also, eventually, they're starting to work on finding the evidence to back up those claims. So I'm getting lost in the details here. The big idea is you want them to be able to have an understanding and comprehension of critical thinking. That's what this is all about. Skills that students must use to meet the standards. So the verbs that were in the standard that I looked at are introduce, acknowledge, distinguish, and organize. So they need to be able to introduce the topic and discuss, find the claims in the text, and then organize the evidence logically according to the claims. So possible projects. I would introduce the concept of a topic or issue or have one pre-selected for them. So we might start off with a newspaper article with an obvious topic and then move to an article that has several topics bundled together so that they could unpick it. I would show a video clip for the visual learners of a topic and some commentary, and we would also have a class discussion so that we can model what a topic is. I would also concurrently begin to show what a claim is, and we would practice identifying what a claim is. We'd work in groups collaboratively with a worksheet. We'd do a think, pair, share type thing. So it could potentially take 3 to 5 lessons depending on the speed and comprehension of my learners. We would read an article, make sure we knew what the topic was, what the claim is, what the opposing claims. We'd look for it in the text, and we would find evidence also in the text. Using their Chromebook in class, they would find their own examples online of topics they were interested in and look up the claims and the opposing claims. We would complete a worksheet where they would outline what the topic is, what the claim 1 is, what claim 2 is, and then the evidence. And finally, they'd work with a partner on a topic, choosing opposing sides and debate about it in class. And I would definitely have a rubric and a timeline so that they would be able to achieve the different steps. How would I assess the students? Well, I do wish that there were definitions for the various verbs. In the case of my standard, the students are meant to introduce, hello topic, meet, claim. I mean, what do they mean by that exactly? Acknowledge or distinguish from other pieces of text, I presume, and organize their thoughts when they're having a debate and the claims and the evidence. So that makes sense. So through our group discussion worksheets, they would be able to indicate that they are able to introduce a topic and tell me what that is and what a claim and opposing claim are. Through the completion of worksheets as well as the project on identifying an article with a main topic and two opposing claims online, they would be able to acknowledge what those concepts are. They would be able to pick apart convoluted arguments to find out what the various topics are and what the claims are. You can't have people having an argument unless they know what they're arguing about and they both are arguing about the same thing. Finally, in their partner debate, they will be able to show that they can organize their thoughts and choose a topic and make their claim using evidence they have researched to support their claim. And as I explained previously, I would have a rubric for this. For those who are not as advanced in reading, I would use a graphic organizer to introduce the various concepts. I'd give them extra time to work on properly identifying these concepts in small groups or maybe with a peer. I would make it relevant to them by talking about topics and claims that affect them in their everyday life. I would use framed worksheets with less text on the page and simpler language. They would have an opportunity to write or type their answers as well as be tested orally by me. This concludes my presentation on unpacking a standard. Thank you so much.